Well, a special good afternoon to all those of you who are with us on Facebook or maybe on the live stream or on radio, either way. Good to have you this afternoon and welcome to the program, all of you. And this is exactly the time at noon when it's time for your favorite three-letter word, EAT, eat. Of course, it's time to accompany that with tuning into this program where you'll be able to be brought up to speed with exactly what's happening. All right, I'm here with the project leader for the seniors, who is currently working with the Ministry of VSR, and they're here to speak about something that is coming up. I'm expecting to be joined hopefully later by another member of the staff, and then we can have a fruitful conversation about the upcoming event. But since I'm only here with Elencia, let me just say a special good afternoon to her, Elencia Baptiste Boseman. She's here to talk to us about Seniors Connect, which is a project I'm sure that they've been working on for quite some time. I must add, and you're going to have to get that microphone in your face so that when you speak, I can hear you.
Is it close enough?
Well, maybe it might be better on your left because you'll be looking at me. And yeah, that's much better. So it's good to have you in Elencia, and I know you've been working on being here, but you know how things happen. You fell ill and all that kind of stuff. It's nobody else's business, but I think it's important that that is mentioned because you want to make use of our platform to be able to share, and you know a lot of seniors do listen to this program as well, and it's good to know that there are events that are upcoming that they can be a part of, or whatever is being done on their behalf is being shared so that we don't have to be saying things that we don't know unless it's shared with everyone, you know, that kind of stuff. Good afternoon. How are you?
Good afternoon, William. I'm doing pretty well. Thank God for that. Now?
Yeah.
I'm doing pretty well now. It's a process. Recovery is a process. And I am grateful that I am able to be here today. First of all, I want to say thank you to you and your radio listeners, your viewers, for giving us this opportunity to share with your audience. Because I was told by one senior that PJD2 is the seniors station.
Well, we'll take that. We'll take that with an applause. I must say that we do have more grown-ups listen to this program. Sometimes we have topics that address young people, and I always remind those persons who hear that please keep in mind that you're conveying this information to a parent that might have to be the one responsible for passing it on to the children. But yes, I'll take that with an applause. I do appreciate it because they deserve to be represented too.
But then you all are the oldest station too, so there you go.
Yeah.
Most people grew up with PJD2.
That's
like
true.
Myself, as one of the radio stations. So you tend to gravitate towards the program.
Yeah.
And not putting down the other stations because we do appreciate them as well. But I think PGD2 also offers a very holistic programming.
Okay.
So it starts you with your devotions and so on through the day. So I think a lot of people tend to
take advantage of that.
Yes.
Yes, why not? So these Seniors Connect project, what are we missing? What do we need to know in terms of what the ministry is doing that, people should know they exist?
Okay. I think maybe first of all, I must say something about the ministry and who we are.
Yeah.
I am actually representing the Department of Social Development, which is a policy department within the Ministry of Public Health, Social Development and Labor. The ministry consists of three policy departments. And under the policy, so you have the minister, you have the secretary general, and then you have the policy departments, and then you have the execution departments. And since 10, St.Maarten has now been tasked with their own policy affairs. So we have the policy department for public health, policy department for labor, and a labor department, you could refer to that as, and then you have social development. So I'm representing social development.
Okay.
Yes. So indeed, we've been doing since last year. I think if you recall, I was here at the same program, speaking about an aging conference that we had in September last year. And in that, it was a series of activities that were supposed to have taken place then. So we had the conference, the 2-day working conference, which was on the 28th and the 29th and 30th. And then on the 1st of October, we had the big celebration for the Day of the Elderly. And then this aspect of it, which was supposed to be the awareness affairs, the Seniors Connect, should have followed. But because of various circumstances, it was pushed to this year. So now we are at the stage where we are actually offering the Seniors Connect. And I'm guessing you're wondering, like, what is the Seniors Connect?
Obviously.
What that is, how did you come about that? Well, in preparation, not just preparation for the conference, but generally having conversations with seniors, you recognize that there's a void of information, right? Sometimes we speak out of turns, or sometimes we pass on information, and it's not necessarily the correct information. And then we make statements like, oh, but we don't have this and we don't have that, right? Why don't they implement it? But we do have this and we do have that. Oh, but I wasn't aware of it.
Yes.
Right? So to ensure that our seniors become a little more knowledgeable, and not just seniors alone, because seniors have caregivers, they have family members. So don't think that the Seniors Connect is for seniors. It's about seniors, or about aging, but not for only seniors.
Okay.
Right? So considering that, we decided, well, okay, maybe it might be helpful to have this fair. It's like a fair where we are going to be connecting community with all the services that we have available as much as possible for seniors, right? We bring it in one location. We're going to be sharing information. So all of these different organizations will be there on site to give information, take their time, explain. Make sure you have your questions. They're going to ask the questions, all the questions you need to ask, so that you can get the answers that you require to be able to function and continue to operate in society, live a dignified life on St.Maarten.
Yeah.
And I know there are other factors that come along with that, living a dignified life, but
Yes.
we'll get into that.
All right. So this event is going to be on Friday, you say?
Friday upcoming, and it's from 9 in the morning
Okay.
until 1, and it's in the government building parking lot. So it's not in the Telem parking lot or the big parking lot adjacent to the government building, but it's inside the government building's parking lot.
Okay.
Right? It's a whole section of the parking lot that has been closed
Cordoned
off.
off.
Yeah,
Yes.
has been closed off for this event. So what we are having, we have about 28 different organizations that are going to be present to
Okay.
give information.
They will set up like booths
Yes.
or something like
Yes,
that.
we have a whole setup of tents, and we have a main tent where we would have, let's say, presentations being done in that main tent. We also have an area where games would be played. We have domino table under the tree. So it's like a different setup. So it's not just about sharing information, but it's also connecting with our seniors, bringing out the seniors to connect with each other, because some of them don't get that opportunity to come out too often to connect with each other.
I guess then here's where the caregivers comes into play,
Yes.
because this is at least one activity
That they can come
that they
out.
can plan
Yes.
as something that they can engage in that would be also informative, because they can ask whatever concerns they have.
Yes.
Very good.
Yes.
And this is going to be in the government building parking lot. Okay.
Yes, because inside is too small. We have a conference room, but the conference room is way too small to organize all of those different services.
Yeah.
So we decided to keep it outside, and we know that the time of the day is kind of warm, because it's 9 to 1, so you're going into the peak of the day.
Yes.
But what we try to do is we try to make all the considerations that we can to ensure that our seniors keep cool enough.
Yeah.
Because we know that St. Maarten has become extra hot right? And the sun is good for us because a lot of us are lacking in the vitamin D.
Vitamin D.
Yes, a lot of us are lacking in the vitamin
Yep.
D, but it's
If you could
also,
stay at least half an hour in the sun every day, that can be a
yes,
substantial source of
yes.
vitamin D,
But then
natural.
also considering our seniors, some of them, their skin is very soft.
Sure.
And as you grow older, there are changes in a lot of different things in your body.
Yeah.
And depending on the type of medication that you're using,
Yeah.
you're not allowed
Some
to
of
be
them,
in
the
the
skin
sun
is
too
too
long.
sensitive. Yes.
Yes. So what we did, or what we're planning, is that we're going to have the conference room closed off specifically for that day, that the seniors can use it as a respite area. They can just relax in
Okay.
their lounge area. They can have their snacks in there, their refreshments there. And then they can also play some board games in there.
Yeah.
So it's like you're in and out. You try to make it as accommodative as possible, to engage seniors on that day, right?
Yeah.
Sorry
Can
about
I
that.
also just say that you must have had other sources or other ways of communicating this information other than through us,
Yes,
because I'm
definitely,
saying
definitely,
if it's
definitely.
just us, it
No,
sounds pretty
no,
much like it's late
no,
notice.
no, 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 no. We started putting out information from since we've been organizing this since last year,
Yes, I know.
and then
You were trying to get here since last year.
yes,
Correct.
and then we have our ad running.
Okay.
We did different radio interviews. As a matter of fact, today we coincidentally do two here at PJD2,
Okay.
because we were on the breakfast lounge this morning.
Oh, okay.
And
I missed that.
then yeah, and then we also did we have articles, press release. So and then we have the word. Nothing is more better than word of mouth,
Yeah.
right?
Correct.
I must give props to the seniors organizations because they have really been spreading it. We have a flyer circulating in community, and what we've recognized, we have reached out to certain agencies to be there. But what we've recognized is that because the flyers circulating in the community and agencies that we were never aware of that would have made an impact are doing things for seniors,
Yeah.
they reached out to us. So it says that the word is out there and
Yeah.
it's
I
floating
could
around. So
I could imagine, because you have other organizations or foundations
yes,
like Home Away from Home and that
yes,
kind of stuff
yes,
that
yes.
works primarily
With
with seniors. And
exactly,
this is one activity that can be planned
definitely.
for those
As a
groups.
matter of fact, you mentioned Home Away from Home. They normally meet on a Friday, right? So instead of that organization having their meeting in their usual location on the Friday, they're going to transform it to the Senior Connect.
Oh,
So they will be there with their
in full
seniors
force then.
in full force, and then they're going to be doing different activities.
Okay.
And one such activity, for example, that they normally do at their center, which they would have received on a Friday, is exercise for the seniors, right? So the exercise would be transferred to the Senior Connect. So all seniors that are present will have the opportunity to engage in exercises as well. So it's a whole set of things going on.
Okay.
It's a potpourri of things, as you would say.
All right. So you are of the opinion that your reach has hopefully been maximized, so everyone should take full advantage. Tell us the why seniors should really do this, and what are some of the advantages for really doing this when it comes to addressing the issues of seniors.
Okay. I think we start with awareness, right? And because, opening we spoke about not having enough information or not having the right information. So to answer the why should they do it? I think it is very important that persons get the right information and they get adequate information, right? Sometimes we go out to these types of events also and we don't make use of the opportunity to ask questions. We have a lot of lingering things in our minds. We have questions, but we don't ask questions. Because we are trying to tailor this specifically for the seniors, and that is something that the vendors or the service providers have been made aware of, to be patient with our seniors, right? So you don't rush them along. You give them the opportunity to ask their questions and try as much as possible, because we tend to have we like to use a lot of, because we are living in a modern world, we like to use very big jargon. We like to use a lot of technological terms and do things in a modern way. Doesn't mean that we have to be backwards or anything like that, or it doesn't mean that we are backwards, but it also means that we have to consider the target group that we are working with, right? And seniors are a group of persons. Remember, they are coming from a different age and
A
generation,
different era.
a different era. That's right. So what obtained in that era, it takes them time to reach to our stage. They might never even reach to our stage.
Yeah.
Because even as I look at myself as a parent, and I look at my children, they will look at me as backward
Yes.
because the things that they do,
You
I
are
depend
slower
on them.
to
Yeah.
transition
Yes.
to the modern day
Yes, yes.
technologies.
Yes. So it's so with that being said, we
Yes.
also need to consider those of the past generations as well.
Yeah.
Right? Because we would want to be considered and
Yeah.
not looked down upon.
Yeah.
Right? So it's important, and so for the why, I think it's important. Information is necessary for you to survive
Yeah.
and to navigate the systems in St. Martin.
Yeah, yeah. And
very
one
necessary.
case in point here is often they're told to, in order to get certain things done, go online. And that is the most scariest thing to hear for some people, because they either have no way of knowing it or have no assistance
No.
that can help them go online. So they probably would be void of that service or what they could benefit from that, because this go online just doesn't suit them.
It just doesn't suit them, and I do agree. But there are strides being made, because I must say that, for example, SZV recently started back their services to the seniors face-to-face.
Visitation.
Yes, so they can, instead of going online, they can physically go there on specific days. And then you have, let's say, the Department of Community Development, Family and Humanitarian Affairs. The library also, they are offering these senior tech programs where they teach the seniors, right?
Yeah.
In a very calm, very slow pace, very to your own pace type of way, how to access the internet. So what can you do? How help them to develop an email address.
Yeah.
Because at the same time, while we understand the seniors, there's some basic things still that you have to get used to and you have to get on board with.
Yeah.
Because, for example, if we look at the trend in the world and we look at, for example, the banking system, right? A lot of the banks are currently still, we are privileged still to have a line in a bank, but you go to some countries, there's no line in the bank at all, right? So you must be able to learn to use internet banking, understand how that goes. It's a very challenging thing and a very risky thing for our seniors, but it's a necessary thing for them to get on board and to learn, right? So we are trying our best to also accommodate and to try to ensure that they get that information as well. Because one of our partners in this would be the Windward Island Bank, because within government, a lot of government service that requires finances are paid through the Windward Island Bank, right? So we are going to have the Windward Island Bank as one of the service providers at the fair, and they would be able to, or they will be assisting with internet banking and those types of things.
All right, it's about time for me to take a quick break. Elencia Baptiste Boseman is here with me from the Ministry of VSR, and she's talking about a Seniors Connect program that would be held tomorrow.
No,
Not
Friday.
Friday.
Friday, of course.
Oh, I'm thinking today's Thursday.
You're living life fast.
I beg your pardon. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we also would be joined by Malayka, Marlin, who is also part of this program. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back, everyone. And this time, we're just about halfway through, and we'll be ending this form of the program until about 1 o'clock. But we are now joined by Malayka Marlin, who is also assisting in this program. And yes, she too would be sharing the role that she plays in all this. Already you have found out from Elencia that the program would be on Friday. at the government administration building. It begins at 9 o'clock, right?
Correct.
Until about 1 o'clock. So if you haven't planned yet, or if you're a caregiver and you haven't made any strides to get your seniors involved in this program, where they can learn a lot more than they probably knew, then you can make plans. Is there? Hi, Malayka, are you okay?
Hi, good afternoon. I'm doing fine.
Nice to have you. What role are you playing in all this now? Because it was necessary for you to be here, and Elencia shared quite a lot. But in your case, what role are you playing in all this?
So, Elencia is the lead person that works on the aging portfolio that she has, and I am actually assisting her in regards to the whole aging portfolio that she has. Yeah.
Yeah, and so for this project, is there any plans for maybe a follow-up or an annual or anything of that nature? Either one of you can take that.
Well, we're not sure as yet. So based on how this one goes, of course we're gonna have like surveys asking how people think it was and what their, but give their input, and then we can decide in the future. Maybe we do it differently, or maybe from this we get something else. I don't know. Maybe a directory of the services. We're not sure as yet.
Yeah.
So we just have to see how it goes.
So what's a normal day for your particular department is like concentrating on aging? Well, when you leave home, and I guess a follow-up question to that would be, based on some of the things that I would hear on this program and complaints that you'll get, can we do more? Are we doing enough? How would you respond to that
Okay.
for seniors?
I would say I would always start from the premise that you can always do more. There's never enough that you're doing for anything, right? But then we also have to be realistic as well with regards to our size as a country, what our affordabilities are. And we also need to begin, because as I was sharing earlier today, I think that something that we have come very prone to do and very comfortable with doing is complaining a lot.
Yeah.
Right? And we don't see the personal responsibility in certain aspects. And then also too, we need to strive, because it's actually a little pet peeve of mine that I have. I find that we use the word silos a lot, right? Everybody's working in silos. Everybody is trying to, and I would say everybody trying to stand on their own soapbox, right? We are a very small community with very limited resources, human and financial and otherwise.
Yeah.
And it
So
is
true.
very much important for us to really and truly, once and for all, understand our problem, understand the uniqueness of our country as St.Maarten, and find ways of working together to actually deal with the issues that we have, right? Instead of she trying to do it one way, he trying to do it one way, and then complaining that she ain't doing it right and complaining. So it's a kind of, and to me it's like a spin-off effect when you don't work together and you don't harness or maximize the kind of resources that you have available to you. The spin-off effect is what we have right now. A lot of fragmentation, a lot of
Malayka, maybe you want to take this too as well. Survivability is probably something that you might have to deal with when dealing with seniors. And I wonder how that strikes your emotion at times when you have to deal with something like this.
How it strikes. It hits hard. It hits hard. Because you see a lot of what's happening. And a lot of times, sometimes your hands are tied as to what you can do and how much you can do. So it is a struggle. It is a struggle. But of course, you have to think outside of the box a lot of the times and try to assist the individual to the best of your ability.
I mean, you would hear things like, yeah, but I can't afford. I mean, I wonder how that strikes you as a representative of
Difficult.
government?
Difficult.
Right.
It's very difficult because people would have worked all their lives.
Yeah.
And I often use people say, oh, but why don't they prepare? And da, 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 da. We tend to make all kind of judgmental statements, right? But you work hard, you work all your life. Yes, some of us made some not so well decisions. But at the same time, there are certain things within community. And that's why I say it's supposed to be like a holistic approach where we are working together, because there are certain aspects that are personal responsibility and there are aspects that are government's responsibility.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because the state can't move away from the responsibility of care to the people.
Yeah.
Right? And the state, now this is the part that people don't really like to hear. In order for the state to be able to afford to take care of their people, the state gotta make money somehow to get to take care of the people. Right? So it's like a revolving door kind of situation where if you don't pay your taxes or people living under the radar and not contributing to a system, then they don't get the kind of support or services that they need. So it's like it's unfortunate, but it's something that we need to continue to work on and continue to do. And something that I would often say as somebody who's been in government, we are not where we need to be, but we are definitely not where we was or where we were, right, as a country. And I listen to a lot of talk shows and I listen to a lot of people and I and I like, yeah, but if you make comparisons to some of the things that we have available to us, we are not there yet. We're working to get there, but we are not that bad off either.
Okay.
I know you don't agree with me because I see it by your face.
Not really. I was more. If you notice, I picked up the Constitution of St.Maarten because therein lies the responsibility of government to care and look out for seniors too as well. We seem to have a culture, however, where, like you were speaking of earlier, not enough discussions and consultations about one's civic obligation to the point where they are not knowledgeable of it and then they have to face it later on at a time when they need to be relieved of such pressure. One of it is taxable income. And I remember back in the day when I used to work more, I know that the salary used to have, when you get your slip, you see areas of monies deducted for AOV, that's the insurance, and pays you and taxes and that kind of stuff. But that is the responsibility of the people who you're working for. With the exception of you're not even aware that you have to do your own income tax return, which would spell out that these things, because you were employed at the time, should be taken care of by someone else. Poor people don't even know, or there's not a culture where this is ingrained in us to know that this is something that you have to do, and as a result, you have to be dealing with that later on when you shouldn't even be dealing with taxes.
And it's interesting that you use the word civics education, right? You talk about civic knowledge and civic responsibility. And I don't often like to put things in the school system too much because I think everything we think, okay, everything for the youths, we need to put it in the school system, right? But I think that maybe we need to consider as country to begin to develop civics programs, whether it is through the school system, whether it is through community, because people need to understand what their responsibilities are.
Exactly.
We talk about rights, but we don't talk about personal responsibilities, right? So it's like this: the child have a responsibility or right to education, but the child has a responsibility to make use of the education and to learn, right? So it's the same thing within society. You have a right to a clean environment, right? But you also have a responsibility not to throw garbage in the street neither.
Correct.
And to dispose of your garbage properly, right? So I think that, government have its role to play. And I'm not negating that. And I'm not saying we're doing our best job at it, because we suck when it comes to a lot of things that we need to do, right? But we also need to help our community to understand that in order for this to work for all of us, not just government alone, and don't think that because if you pay your taxes, somebody over there taking the tax money and they're using it to enrich themselves or whatever. Don't look at it from that perspective. Look at it from the perspective that when you pay your taxes, right, your taxes go towards social upkeep. It go towards maintenance. I mean, I want to mention the roads right now because that's a hot topic, but it goes towards infrastructure upkeep. It goes towards several things, education, further education of our children, right? So it's not just it going to government and that's it. Government and that's the responsibility that government have in taking care of their people.
Yes.
So they try to take care of their people in the ways that they can, but they can't do it alone.
Yeah.
It cannot be done alone. Taxes need to be paid by the businesses that exist in our country. I heard the minister refer to some of the casinos not making their fair share of contribution, right? These are things that need to happen. And then you would say, but yes, then government needs to probably do more enforcement. Agreed, but we have a lack of human resources.
Yeah.
So it's a challenge all around, but then we have to find ways of how we can help each other, try to make the best of our situation here in St.Maarten.
Yeah. So in this regard, you have to be a little bit tolerant with the seniors who may lack whatever resource to be able to fully exploit what is available to them. And part of it, of course, is information that they don't have. And hence probably the reason why you have, what are some of the foundations or the booths that would be set up? Who are some of them that would be there to provide information?
So on Friday coming, the 27th, the organizations that we have, or the service providers, let me put it that way, would be, we have about 28. So we talking about transportation services, talking about home care services. We're also talking about dental association, an audiologist. I said that earlier today, and it was like, what I is. So
yeah, I have no clue. So you might as well share that too.
Well, I don't have details either, but somebody that does with hearing and that type of stuff. So yeah. The Diabetes Foundation that will be doing testing. We also have a tax office, SZV, White and Yellow Cross, insurance, so APS and a other insurance company as well. I said home care, and also persons that take care like feet and stuff like that.
Foot care.
Pediatrician.
Yeah, foot care.
A cardiologist, like is feet care.
So those are the type of services.
28 sounds like a lot, though.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
But would they be able to? Well, they would have to make their choices as to where their interest lies.
Well, and that's why we kind of give that period. So you could start off, and then you could take a rest. And then we have it set up in zones, right? So it's set up like in the health and wellness zone that has a particular color. That color is green. So you know that health services are in green. That zone, in green. And then we have the home care services zone. And then you know that is blue. So then you know you go over there to the home care services zone. Then you have the purple, which is the financial zone. And you have a cluster of organizations that in the financial zone. And then we have yellow, which is the independent zone. So to help the senior to live independently as much as possible, you have different organizations and services that will be in that zone.
What about someone who may not be a senior, but would want to be there to probably get information?
Definitely, for sure. We are encouraging everybody to come out, because look at what's going to happen here. That's why I say it's about seniors, about growing older. and the services for about seniors, but it's not for seniors only.
Okay.
Because, for example,
Well, you can imagine that's what I'm thinking.
yeah, so everybody
But
thinking the same thing
yeah.
too.
So there were people who are
Yes.
like-minded.
Agreed.
But
Agreed.
yes, I realize uh, somebody who is young and vibrant would want to know. Well, I would like to know how can my grandma get
Yes.
some help
Of course.
regarding.
Of course.
Yes.
So
It's
then,
open for
Yes.
everyone in the community and it's free. So
Yes.
anybody is welcome, everybody is welcome, and we encourage people to come as well. So like I would say, it's for caregivers, family members. You could be a neighbor that knows somebody that's a senior that maybe needs some kind of help or
I
you
want to
know
learn assistance.
exactly.
So she
So,
come and get information.
Of course,
Yeah.
of course, and of course the seniors.
Yeah, well.
yeah, of course, but it's for everybody. It's for everybody, even those who are pre-seniors. So you're
Yes.
about to become a senior soon, and you want to know what's available.
And,
You
and
should
listen,
be there.
planning for senior.
Yeah.
Planning for seniorship is like a 10 to 20 year planning, at least.
Yeah, I know.
At least. And it's not just about the money.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
not just about the
I
money.
I have to say I've been privileged to have a lot of discussions, but I realize even for retirement, this is something that even before you retire, you should be sitting down and having these discussions.
Of course.
As a family, you need to have that discussion. You need to have it with your employer. You need to actually have the discussion with yourself. Because it's a lot of changes that you're going to go through, right? Your routine changes. As I was mentioning this morning, you're working all your life. A lot of people work for 40, 50 years, right? And you're in a particular routine every day. And then all of a sudden that routine just goes to a screeching halt.
Yeah.
Some people can't deal with it.
Yeah.
So you have people going into depression. You have some people just dying.
Die as a result.
Because they just can't deal with it. They
Yeah.
can't face the fact. And then also too, I think, as a society, we use or we look at aging and becoming old I wouldn't want to use the word sin, but as the worst thing ever. And we don't see it as like maybe a blessing, or we don't see it as part of a stage of our living to embrace aging, right?
Yeah.
Because, okay, now I'm done. They're going to cast me aside. I ain't nothing no more. Nobody don't see me no more. And because of that, people tend to just isolate themselves. And we don't talk about aging enough.
You mentioned cast aside, and I can relate that to some people and their feelings, some seniors and their feelings, especially the way they are treated sometimes. You have to stop a bus to get on. Sometimes the bus ain't even want to stop because you're so slow to get on. You're holding them back. When they go to places where they get no privilege information. And these are some of the feelings that are often expressed by those people.
And those
So
are valid
that
feelings.
department that you're working in, I guess, should come in real handy here if our people are to be ready to cope and deal with some of what they have to experience in
And
everyday
guess what?
life.
St.Maarten is an aging community. St.Maarten is an aging community. We are not even a community that have a high birth rate. So guess what's going to happen in the next 10 years? We're going to have a lot more older people, and then we have people that are living long because of medical tech. As much as we have people dying, our medical technologies are not that bad. So we have people's lives that have been extended longer. So guess what's happening to us as a country? If you look at our census results, the last census that we had in 2022, I think it was.
Yeah.
When you look at that census result, our population apex is actually almost on its head. Meaning that we used to be a nice little triangle where the bottom was nice and wide, right? Because
Not
the
like that
bottom
anymore.
supports the top. Now we are more top heavy than bottom. So that says a lot for us as a community.
What you want of someone who might be listening at this moment, maybe in the senior stage, what kind of condition you want them to adapt to in their thinking when it comes to aging?
Embrace it.
But how can you
Embrace it.
embrace it when you do have a lot of challenges that goes along with survivability?
I hear you. I would want to use, maybe it might not be the right thing to use, or the right analogy to use. But a group of people that I often admired were older women, right? Older women were tasked with a lot. A lot. They had to care because a lot of what we are faced now, and I often say it, many may not agree with me, but a lot that we face with is because of the liberation of women. And not that women shouldn't be liberated. I totally agree in 100% of the liberation of women. However, when the women were liberated, we didn't put the kind of systems in place, and it shows you the kind of value that women hold in society and within a family, right? You look at child care. Women are the one who do most of the caring of our children. And the two groups that are really suffering right now in society, the children and the elderly, because the woman is no longer there, right? So, and the reason why I'm using that analogy is because women of the past, they carried a heavy burden. But something I would see my grandmother them do, and even my mother used to do, they used to sing a lot. They used to hum a lot. They turned to a God a lot, right? And for them, that was their life. It was a sort, I'm not saying that you have to accept your life, but sometimes to be able to get through a stage of life,
Coping mechanism.
Yes, to be able to cope to something,
Yes.
cope with something, you have to come to the realization that this is what it is.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it have to stay that way, but this is what it is.
Can be comforting
Yes.
for you because
Yes.
you just hum your way through it.
This is the
It's
way
all
it
right.
is. Yeah.
I'll make it.
I'm going to get through.
Yeah.
And then you become very creative in finding ways to get through it. But when you just sit there and you complain and you complain and you complain, it does something to the brain. The brain begins to shut down. You can't think anymore. You can't become creative anymore. So then you leave hopeless. So what we are faced now, we are faced with a hopeless set of people.
Yeah.
Right?
So you if I can phrase it in this way, seems like you're saying instead of complaining, just find just hum your way, sing a hymn or whatever, and that would calm you down to the point where
it can calm you, doesn't solve your problems, but it calms you to be able to find a solution.
Yeah, because what you're talking about, we knew it a lot.
Yeah.
My mom humming and
They know
while
every
they're
hymn
working.
in a book. They know every psalm in the book, in the Bible.
Yeah.
And those are things, they didn't have it easy. They had poverty.
Yeah.
They had a life really
But they
hard,
could manage
but
themselves
they
through
found
it.
ways
Yeah.
to manage themselves through it.
But also we have a society of women doing a lot of the working now too as well.
Yes.
So
It's a lot.
they have
It's a lot.
quite some.
It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah.
Because we are all, both of us here, working.
And that takes
women.
away from home too as well.
Yes, it
And
is. Yes, it is.
wow.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And that's why it's important.
I'm not so sure this is a simple thing for them to hum their way through though.
No, it's not. But I'm just saying that it helps you to get to the next stage.
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't solve your problem. And people might see that as trivial, right? But it doesn't solve your problem because, for example, if you're somebody going to a care professional for assistance, right? They're going to ask you to do little things to help yourself, right?
Yeah.
In order to get through one stage to the next.
Yes.
Right? And you find whatever suits you best. And one of the things that, let's say you go to a counselor, whatever the case may be, one of the things that a counselor tends to do you listen to music?
Oh,
right?
Okay.
Do you listen to music? Do you have any? Do you have a belief in a higher power or whatever it is? Because you're looking at tapping into the source of hope.
Yeah.
Right? And when you don't keep your focus centered on that source of hope, you become hopeless.
Yeah.
And then things, as again,
No question.
things may not be the brightest of things, but if you have hope, you find ways of dealing with. So you find the courage to, let's say, get up. If you don't have the financial means, you get up and maybe you go to government, you go to the financial services department to go ask questions. And maybe even if they're not as kind to you as they're supposed to be, you find it to take a breath, and then you tell yourself, I'm here for me, I'm here for a reason, I'm going to pull through, this is what I need to accomplish. You find your way to the next step.
But I think that's also very important, because I think a lot of times people will just sit and be like, feel as if they're hopeless, but sometimes there is some sort of solution, or there is some kind of relief, but we just sit and don't do
they
anything.
limit themselves.
Yeah. So and I think this is why this is also very important, because and we emphasize a lot as well on Friday when you come with your questions. Ask.
Yeah.
Get to find out.
But even then, they're somewhat hesitant at times too. So you want to break that.
Correct. And that's why we keep emphasizing that, you need to come with your questions. I don't know if Elencia mentioned, but they're going to have also presentations. So the tax office is going to be presenting, having more of a dialogue. So you could come with questions, ask the questions. SSV is also going to be doing a presentation. So you ask questions, come with questions. Walk around, look at each and everything, ask however much questions that you want to ask, and get information so that you can be able to empower yourself and.
In closing, do you have any doubt that there are some people who are going to be hearing certain things for the first time, never knew that it existed?
It's possible.
Yes and no. Yes and no. Yes and no, because one of the things that I feel that a lot of seniors don't have enough information on is the AVBZ and what it really entails and how they can make use of it and benefit from it. So there might be some new things that you might not hear. And then you have a lot of services that are out there in the community that we don't know nothing about. A lot of us don't know anything of. So I think there will be.
Or you think you know.
Yeah.
But you don't know.
To what extent.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, so use this last minute to, again, let the folks know what would be happening Friday.
Yes. We are inviting all, so not just seniors, but we are inviting all to come out on Friday morning at 9 o'clock at the Government Administration Building parking lot. We are having the Senior Connect. It is about seniors, but it's not only for seniors. And I also want to encourage people from the different communities, so different nationality communities, to come out also. Because a lot of times you recognize that these communities don't necessarily have information. And they stay away, and then they end up in all sorts of very difficult situations. So we encourage you to come out to get information. The information is for you too.
Yeah.
So come out and learn and get information.
There's a sector of people in the community who feels to themselves as well that they are non-belongers. And they're seniors. And they don't think that there is anything
there for
that
them.
yes.
Yeah.
So
The fact that you are growing older on St.Maarten,
yes,
it's important that you come out.
Okay.
And come with the questions.
Yes, come with the questions.
All right.
Did we say we also have fun activities?
Yes, we have fun activities. We have everything.
Domino
Games.
table, game.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's
So you can-
socializing as well.
Connect.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Am I invited?
Oh,
Of
certainly.
Why not?
Certainly. Before you go, come on air. You could come over, take a thing, and then you come on air and you could share with your listeners what was it about
Your
and
experience.
your experience at the Senior Connect.
Elencia, Baptiste, something else I'm missing. Bosman and Malayka.
Marlin.
Marlin.
Yes.
I seen some other name here. Anyway, that's besides the point. Thank you both for sharing this information and for letting the seniors know, and caregivers and everyone whose interest lies within getting more information about seniors, that there will be a Senior Connect program at the Government Administration parking lot on Friday, and all are invited. All right. Thank you both.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
That's it, folks, for today. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll be back this afternoon at 5, of course. I'm inviting you to join me then as well. Until then, you take care of yourself. And until tomorrow, God's willing, you take care of yourself. Enjoy your Wednesday. Goodbye.